stop presenting your screen, sir. After the introduction, let's share the screen again, sir.
And after I started sharing the screen, if it is disconnected, I couldn't get it. So anyone can inform me. Brother, WhatsApp and suppose disconnected. Hello. What did you say? கேக்குதா?
Sir.
இல்லை நான் ஸ்க்ரீன் ஷேர் பண்ணிட்டேன்னா எனக்கு வந்து ஸ்க்ரீன் வியூ மட்டும்தான் எனக்கு தெரியுது. நான் இப்போ அப்ளிகேஷனில் இருக்க முடியாது. ஸோ சப்போஸ் ஏதாவது டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா எனக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப்பில் கால் பண்ணுங்க.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir. You can go live.
Okay. A very good morning to everyone. It is our great pleasure to have you all here for the Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, which is one of the unique initiatives of Chennai Institute of Technology under the guidance of our Honorable Chairman Shri Sriram, a successful first-generation entrepreneur, a well-known industrialist and managing director of MK Group of Companies. Under Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, we have been conducting webinar series such as Technical Webinar Series, Research Webinar Series, Career Guidance Webinar Series, Alumni Webinar Series, and Innovation Webinar Series. Today we have Technical Webinar Series on how to gear up a startup with robotics and AI. Chennai Institute of Technology was established in the year 2010 by our Honorable Chairman, Shri Sriram. Now our institute is being ranked second position among private engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. In this session, today we have our dynamic principal, Dr. A. Ramesh from CIT, CEO of Business Incubator, Mr. Pragadish, and guest speaker, Mr. Ramaiah Chidambaram, CEO of Whizifi Robotics Pvt Ltd. We welcome you, sir. I now request our principal, Dr. A. Ramesh, to share few words with us. I welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So first of all, let me join with you in welcoming our today's guest, Mr. Ramaiah Chidambaram, CEO of CITBI Robotics Pvt Ltd. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dear participants, I understand most of the participants are students and a few are working in colleges. Mainly students, I know very well that the main objective of your study is to get a good placement or to become a successful engineer after your 4 years of graduation. So now you'll be having a lot of ideas on what to do after the 4 years of your graduation, whether to get a placement or to pursue your higher studies or to become an entrepreneur. So nowadays, the mindset of the most of the students are after completion of the degree program, I should get a placement so that I can easily set in my life, so that I can start working, start earning. That is the mindset of most of our students. But how or why you want always to be a job seeker? Why you always look for some other company to give you a job? Why not you become a job creator? Why don't you think of giving jobs to many others? Nowadays, plenty of opportunities are available for you to become an entrepreneur. The word entrepreneur, like its spelling, may look like a complicated one, but nowadays, the word startup, right, compared to entrepreneurship or entrepreneur, it looks good, right? Startups. A lot of opportunities are available for the students to have their own startup. Even during their course of study, they can have their own startups. If we take many big companies which are leading the world nowadays, most of the companies were started as small startups. If we take Facebook, in fact, Facebook, like you, the proprietor, owner of the Facebook or founder of the Facebook, when he was a student, he and his friend has written a research article, and then he convert that research article into a business proposal, and that is nothing but the Facebook. So it was started in a very very small way. Now you know very well what is the value or branding of Facebook. Similarly, you take the auto or Uber taxi services, right? That also with a very simple a mobile app, they have started the service. Now almost across the globe, we have that service. Like that, you can cite n number of examples for that. Days are gone wherein if you want to become an entrepreneur, you need a very big investment. You need to approach different banks to get the loan and all. But nowadays, getting funding is also not a big thing. If you have an idea, and when your idea is having a good what I can say, the technical innovation in it, and also when it has a good business value, so many angel investors are available to invest on your idea. So when you are in student days itself, you can become an entrepreneur, and after completing your study, you can enlarge your enterprises. So we want all our students to become entrepreneur rather than seeking for jobs. With this view in mind, with this objective, Chennai Institute of Technology has recently started Chennai Institute Technology Business Incubator in our campus. We have also appointed Mr. Pragadish Subramaniam as the CEO. So with his induction, the activities have been accelerated. So hereafter, we'll be conducting lot of bootcamp sessions and also a lot of like ideathon, hackathons, or things like that. So students can participate in large number to submit their ideas. And our technology business incubation center will help you to convert all those ideas into a real-time business model or real-time product. So I hope under the guidance of or under the leadership of Mr. Pragadish, our technology incubation center will be very live and vibrant and will be having a lot of activities. So students can use the facility of the technology business incubator, and you can all become an entrepreneur even before you complete your graduation at Chennai Institute of Technology. This word, once again, I welcome our guest and also all the participants for this wonderful webinar, and thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for your inspirational words, sir. And I now request the CEO of Business Incubator Chennai Institute of Technology, Mr. Pragadish sir, to share few words with us. Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Yeah. Once again, good morning to all. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all for our webinar. It's under CITBI. The great platform has been given by our chairman, sir, and also everyone are attending a lot of webinars. So we people are planning to bring out the student entrepreneurs, probably everyone having ideas, but unfortunately, the two things coming forward to the minds that one is fear and other thing is the funding. We can bring out and we can move out. We can say everything. We can overcome everything. So the platform has been given for you. So the opportunities will knock you whenever it knocks. You have to utilize it. So the pandemic situation doesn't matter. You people are sitting in a home and you can use the valuable time. You can use the time for academic and as well as the simple thing we can say while learn you can learn. There are a lot of technologies, technology advancement. Now, don't focus for a job seeker. You have to provide a job like a job provider. Coming scenarios, there will be one day self-employment. So you have to fix it, or you can finalize it whether you want to be a job seeker or you want a job provider. That's during this occasion, I'm just welcoming the CEO of Whizifi Robotics. Never ever can anyone can see in South India there will be a robotics lab. In Tirunelveli, he planned. He was a we can say that he was one of the startup before 8 years. Then he was into different fields like into research and industry. and in the bionics. Like coming days, the bionics, the hands will be the future. So like that, so many things are there. So I don't want to take much more time. We can have a brief session on the coming weeks. Under CIT, Chennai Institute Technology Business Incubator, you will get more successful entrepreneurs. You will have a more passion and also the dedication, the management, how it's giving to you. You have to utilize it. So the opportunity will knocks you one time. The simple proverb I can complete my session like, if an egg is broken by outside force, its life ends. If an egg is broken by inside force, life begins. Like that, you have to decide it whether you are going to be a forced by external, or you are going to force using your internal force to come out. So I appreciate everyone wants to be a new startups and also bring your ideas. There are a lot of schemes available, lot of technologies available. So they, all technologies are linked with everything. So we will have a brief session from the coming weeks. Let me hand over the session to the Whizifi Robotics, Mr. Ramaiah Chidambaram. Then I will go for another 40 minutes or something like that. Swapna, you can handle.
Thank you, sir. And now, Mr. Ramaiah Chidambaram will be sharing with us on how to gear up a startup with robotics and AI. Mr. Ramaiah Chidambaram, founder and CEO of Whizifi Robotics Pvt Ltd. By education qualification, he is an engineer. By passion, he is an entrepreneur.
You unmute your mic, Ms. Swapna. You are not audible.
Now audible, sir?
Yeah, yes, you are audible.
Mr. Ramaiah Chidambaram, founder and CEO of Whizifi Robotics Pvt Ltd. By educational qualification, he is an engineer. By passion, he is an entrepreneur. Experienced robotics and automation engineer with a demonstrated history of 8 years of working in the robotic industry and as well as IT industry. Passionate towards the research journey of direct connection between prosthesis and bone, which is called bionic hands. Prowess in robotics, research, branding, business analysis, and public speaking. Skilled in robotic research, research and product development, website development, digital marketing, and customer relationship. Strong business development professional originated from the southern part of Tamil Nadu called Tirunelveli. He also loves to build a strong technical community in Tamil Nadu, India, especially on robotics and AI. He also likes to set up a robotics and embedded labs for institutions and also home labs for the students who want to become a roboticist, along with the cutting edge mentorship on their tinkering journey. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
You can take over the session, sir.
Sure. Is that my screen is visible and am I audible?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, I would like to thank the management team of Chennai Institute of Technology as well as my good friend Mr. Prakatish. So, I hope the Prakatish would be the one of the best asset for the Chennai Institute of Technology for business development and student entrepreneurs future. I hope so. So, from this particular point, I would like to start the session, and I would like to give a brief about what my research background as a company what we are doing. Myself, Ramaiah Chidambaram, and I have 8 years of experience in robotics side, and myself right now doing 3 research projects. One is for along with the Agriculture Institute, so we working with them, as well as second one, and we are working with autonomous drone concept. It's a prototype for we are submitting for DRDO. As well as third one, my own personal research project as well as my dream project was bionic arm. That is one of the futuristic projects in robotics and AI. So these are the 3 research projects right now I'm working on. And as a company, Whizifi Robotics Pvt Ltd, we are working in the vision of creating a strong robotic ecosystem in Tamil Nadu as well as India, especially in Tamil Nadu. So we are building high tech and next generation laboratory to institutions as well as homes. to reach the locality in a very strong way with a strong technical base. Okay. This is about the brief. And regarding this presentation, so we are going to see the impact and the soul and purpose which the startup should have, and that they can gear up with robotics and AI. First of all, I will share you the outcomes of the program, what we are going to cover. First one is we are going to see what is startup and what is market research. Okay, so everyone we can call it as a startup entrepreneurship, right? So I would like to give some lightning on startups as well as entrepreneurship on that. After that, we will discuss about the market research. It means what are the top industries and what kind of procurement and demand they have based on robotics and AI, because that will be helpful to choose your product or service line to kickstart your business. And secondly, will each and every industry we are going to see a specific and important requirement analysis based on the demand. And third one, what we need for that. Both it will be maximum in terms of technical way as well as the commercial way. So what kind of things we need to meet out this particular market research and requirement analysis. And fourth is robotics and AI is a very expensive industry, an expensive field. So we couldn't pour much money by our hand. So we should get some funding options, and it has as your CEO as well as your principal said. So it has a lot of options right now for getting funding for if your project or a business is very innovative and inspiring. So we'll see what are the opportunities are there. And finally, key action plan. So this is very important from my point of view. If you cover those four, and if you lost in a key action plan, then the percentage of success is very low. So what are the things you need to uh, make it very clear to make your project or business in a successful way? So that is we are going to see in a final outcome. So these are the five outcomes we are going to cover, and the percentage I'm given here is not a weightage for the timing in this presentation. This is a weightage for the this particular outcomes you have to give weightage while you progress it in the real time. So in that way, I gave these weightages. And first one, so we'll see what is startup. So everyone is selling startup and entrepreneurship, right? So entrepreneurship is the is ongoing process. Startup is the just the process of kickstarting to the entrepreneurship. That is a simple difference. So what is meant by startup and what is entrepreneurship, right? So first of all, usually everyone say, as well as you can see uh, ad also on chocolate. So usually they will say it should start with sweet. So if do anything, so if we do any events or any good stuff, so we have to start with a sweet. That's a usual thing we do, right? But as an entrepreneurship, we should start with the problems. Mostly the very strong ideas and strong entrepreneurship journey and strong business models will start from the problem. We are a people, we are day to day life, we are facing a lot of issues and problems, right? So if we can come up with a, very good idea or innovative ideas to solve those problems and give a solution through your business model along with the commercial input, so that will become a wonderful business in the future. So the entrepreneurship always start with the problem. So as a human, it's very easy to find out and point out the problems, right? So if we just point out the problems, we'll be like the normal people. If you want to become an entrepreneurship, point out the problem and don't complain it. Just think about how to solve those problems in terms of a business model or in terms of commercial way. So then you can become an entrepreneur. That is a major difference between the normal people as well as entrepreneurs. Normal people would see problems and keep on complying. Entrepreneurs see problems and build solution for it. Okay, so be the real solution providers if you want to become an entrepreneur. And third, so what are the top three qualities the entrepreneur should have for entrepreneurship? What are the three top qualities needed? So do you have any idea? So if you have any idea, just put in the comment section. We will discuss later. So from my point of view, so in the third point, I would give network. Okay, so in a previous decade, before 10 or 15 years, or 5 to 10 years before the digital arena came, so if you want to become a strong entrepreneur or if you want to build your strong business empire, net worth is very important. So how much money you are going to invest is very important. But in this current scenario, in this digital world, apart from the net worth, uh, network is very important. How many people's influence people's or target customers or the valuable people you know in your particular industry is very important. So as an entrepreneur, you should build your strong network, right? So it's network. It's not kind of how many number of friends you have. That is different. Network is how many good people or influenceable people or the valuable people you know in your industry or in and around of your business. That is very important, right? So the network is a third weightage I'm giving for the top three qualities. And second one is communication. So the every entrepreneur should have a strong communication skill, because if you know something in your mind, no one can know that, right? So you have to communicate in a very effective way, which the customers or the target customers or the investors or the people should understand what kind of solutions you are going to give and how much valuable that to buy or how much valuable that create in the society. They should clearly understand. For that, you should have a strong communication skill and presentation skill to reach the audience or reach the market or reach the investor, uh, to understand how much valuable you are and how much valuable your idea or business model. That is very important. And these two are very important thing. But if you lack in something in these two, you can manage with some employees, or you can hire someone, or you can employ someone to handle these two in some way. You cannot give 100% to them. But if you cannot, if you are not if you are not strong in a communication, for example, you can handle some areas, but you can create a substitute for handling in some other areas. You can manage in that way in these two. But the final one, the top quality of to become an entrepreneur, is a very important skill. You cannot replace with a substitute for this particular quality. As an entrepreneur, we should have this. Okay. So any guessing? Oh, so if you have any guessing, just put a comment, put it in the comment section. In final, we'll see who all gave the right answers. So, from my point of view, finance and accounting. So, finance and accounting is a very important stuff for an entrepreneur. I hope for a technical entrepreneurship, most of them don't say about this. They only talk about technology and those kind of stuffs. But my point of view, if you want to become a successful business person, successful entrepreneur, finance and accounting is the first priority you should give for quality as well as your skill development. Okay, so make everything into a budget and plan it and execute it. That's very important. And communication, the second one, network is the third one. And you can ask, sir, it's a technical entrepreneurship program, so you not even giving a technical knowledge or technological qualification in it. Yes, of course. In a top three, that there is I am not giving a weightage for a technical knowledge, because for an entrepreneur, technical knowledge is important. It's an additional quality, but it's not a mandatory one. And simply saying, you no need to be a technical person in your industry. You don't need to be a technical person, but you should have a domain knowledge. That's enough. So if you want to start a business, the domain knowledge is that's just enough to start the business. After that, you should have these three main stuffs. Technological knowledge is not that much important. Okay, so but if you have in the initial stages for a product development or something, it will be somewhat valuable for you. Otherwise, if you doesn't have also, if you have very good strong industry knowledge, and you can kickstart your business along with the three skills, and you can build your strong team in terms of the product development and technical aspects. Okay, so I'm not it's a very in-depth subject, but I'm covering in a very brief way due to the time restriction. And secondly, it's a market research. So in the market research, we are going to see what are the industries are having high demand levels in terms of robotics and AI. I'm going to classify into three levels of demand. So in that, we will check what are the industries are coming along. So I classify industry based on the three level of demands: moderate, high, and very high. In the moderate level, education industry and retail and hotel industries are there. The education and retail industry, hotel industries has moderate level of demand based on robotics and AI. In a high level of demand, manufacturing industry, supply chain industry, automotive industry, these three, as well as warehouse management, these four areas has a high level of demand for robotics and AI domain. And in terms of demand level, this is a huge demand in these areas: healthcare industry, surveillance industry, agriculture, food technologies. These four industries has a high demand level, very high demand level in terms of robotics and AI. So if you can give some solution where some such industries are facing problem in their day-to-day process, if you can give a solution through robotics and AI for these particular industries, mainly high and very high demand level of industries, then your business will be in a very good scope, and you will get a lot of scope and knowledge, as well as investors will get excited to involve with you. Project or start your business, try to pick some demand level which should be in a high level while you choose an industry to give a solution. That is very important. Otherwise, you just build some product and just align those product with some high demandable industries problem. That is very important. And I would like to show this video. So this is a video where the robotics and AI researchers going on. It's completely based on few companies as well as few institutions across the world. You can see what are the works and research works as well as projects are going in robotics and AI. Then we'll listen this video for a few minutes, then we'll come back to the session. This particular technology is called swarm technology, where you can see multiple drones are there, but it can form a pattern in it, but it will not collide with one to another, because it's work under the swarm technology, in that one particular drone will act as a master and another drones will act as a slave, and this master will give an instruction to all slaves that which position it has to take while forming a pattern. So as well as, so based on that command, the all robots can work, as well as it will have that non-colliding technology in it, so it won't collide. This is one of the recent level trends and research going on. It will be helpful in the time of any any hazardous place or harmful place to rescue humans from some areas. And this is called Neo. It's a humanoid robot available for in a commercial way. It's around 9 lakh rupees, I guess. So this robot is used for a medical purpose, and it is given to the artisan students to interact and communicate. So based on that, the student IQ levels are increased. So for that purpose, it's mainly used. And you can see this is a laboratory in University of New York. It's called Romila Robotics and Mechatronics Lab. So this is one of the top robotic research laboratories which is built in universities, in the sense institutions. There are a lot of funded projects. We can't even believe how much fund they are taking from US government. So more than a 1 billion US dollar they took for a single project alone. So in that way, they are doing a wonderful robotic research projects. And I'm telling you, this is one of the laboratories under the institution of University of New York. So uh, you can also build this kind of research platform in your institute itself. It's completely operated by one professor as well as 11 students, research students. And this is a company called Boston Dynamics. They are building robots for the US Army. And this is one of the finest robotic company in the world, and it's a few years before it's acquired by Google. Right now, this is a Google's company, and you can go and Google it about this particular company called Boston Dynamics. You'll get a lot of interesting facts. Why they are using this robot now? They can use this robot to lift materials and tools which is used by the army people. So if for example the guns or some tools will have some kgs in weight, right? So the soldiers, if they lift up and walk around for some kilometers, they will get easily drained in their energy levels. So they are using these kind of robots to lift those tools and arms and etc. So the soldiers can walk without any payload, and they can walk freely. So how they are doing it now? The soldiers can wear some bag. In the bag, it has some sensory works, and this robot has some tracking level of sensors which can track the sensor which is in the soldier's bag. So if the soldier wear that suit, and he walks it now, then automatically this particular robot can carrying the weights and arms which the soldier needed, and this particular robot can follow his wherever he is going. Okay, so in that way, this particular robot is designed. And this is a robot the Boston Dynamics built for sending to space. Instead of sending astronauts to the space, it has some human losses in some cases of accidents, right? So to avoid that, they're building this kind of robots to send to space and space research. This is one of the student projects. and this particular man is a robot. Okay, so it's completely look like a real human, but it's a robot. It is called an android humanoid robot. Uh, this is one of the highest level of inventions in the robotics and AI technology. So Hansen Robotics, you can go and search on internet. Hansen Robotics. They are the company building this kind of android humanoid robot in a world class level. So this is one of the product of those companies. This is a robot. Okay, so these are the robots we see. We see right. These are the robots built by companies, top companies, as well as some institutions, from student research level as well as from institution laboratories. Also build this kind of technologies. So it's robotics and AI is not a that much unreachable technologies as in terms of student level. So we can do it as well as in India and Tamil Nadu also we can do it in a wonderful way. The only thing is passion and interest is an important one. So don't think that it's somewhat beyond to do. We can also do it. Work with a confident, so we can easily get it. Okay. So first of all, we should know what is robotics and AI before getting into that. So we have a passion, we have interest, but we should have some basic ideas, fundamental ideas, and we should have some technical knowledge to get into that, right? So we will come to know what is robotics and what is AI. So the DNA of robotics and AI is it's a copycat technology from the nature's biology. Don't think that robotics and AI is not an invented one. It is not an invented technology. It's like it's a bulb is an invented technology, right? We couldn't have anything in the naturals in the real life, so we invented it. But this particular robotics and AI technology is a copycat technology. They are capturing something from the nature's biology, and they try to mimic, improve the technology and make it happen through robotics and AI. So that's the thing. Like they are seeing a human, and they see how the human body is working, how the human brain is working, what is uh, the natural biology behind that, and they try to mimic those network, and they try to mimic those structures into a mechanical as well as embedded manner. So that is a technology called robotics and AI. So it's a complete copycat technology. So you can easily relate to those technology into your real life nature's biology. That is very important. And secondly, so if you see the human process, as I told you, so it's a nature process, right? We will check and we will compare how the human natural biology is mimicked into the robotic side. So first of all, as a human, we have five senses, right? We can see through our eyes, and we can it's a vision one, and hearing through ears, and smell through nose, and taste through tongue, as well as we can feel the pressure or cold. We can touch through our skin, not with the hand. It's a skin, right? So through the skin only we can feel the environment. So based on the five senses, we are sensing some environment, and we are taking some information from the outside. And based on the information, we took some decision through our brain. And this brain is giving instruction to the other parts through the our neurological structures, right? So and after that, after getting the information from the brain, what we are doing some actions. So for action, we are using two things. One is muscles, and another is bone. So as well as action has a two separate classifications. One is response and one is movement. Response is giving some outputs, like we speak. It is not that much movement level of output. It's completely audio level of output. It's kind of a speech one. This is a response. Movement in the sense we can move our hands and legs. We do some structural movements. Right? That is called movement. And in the same way, supporting system for human process is that energy system. For doing all three process, we need a energy, right? For energy, gas and system is working for us, as well as to transfer the signals from brain to other parts, the signal system is working. So this is about a human system, human process. In terms of robots and AI process, the sensing part is replaced by the sensors, and decision part is replaced by the brain, as well as action part is replaced by actuators. So these are the major three areas and tools you should understand. You should get knowledge to build the robotic and AI process level. As well as for energy system, we are using power system in robotics, and electronic components as well as power wires as well as signal wires are used to communicate signal system, as well as the power system is used for the transferring the power to one component to another component. So in terms of robot and AI, so mostly we think robotics and as well as artificial intelligence are same. It's not in that way. It has some two major classification in it. So massive classification will come into decision making as well as action part. In terms of decision making, we have two things. One is pre-programmed decision making, another one learning-based decision making. So pre-programmed in the sense we give some defined rules, based on that the robot can work or the system can work. Learning in the sense the robot can their own process itself, it can learn something, and based on the learning it will take some decision. So that is a difference. So robot and artificial intelligence both have pre-programmed rules, but robot doesn't have a learning skill. Artificial intelligence only have the learning skills in their decision making level. In terms of action, as I told you, response and structural movement are the two differences. And in robot and AI, both should have a response, but a robot should has a structural movement, but artificial intelligence doesn't have, because it's kind of a brain stuff. So it can give a response in terms of audio, speech, or some displays, but it doesn't have any structural movements, kind of moving arm, something like that. So, but robot should has that, because robot is a structural movement which can do some actions and which can do some outputs based on the movement. So this is a major difference between robotics and AI. So both are completely different. So you can get some idea, I hope so. And in terms of requirement analysis, we are going to see each and every industry what are the major requirements they're facing, as well as how we can give solution into that. I will give you an example of how the startups, robotics and AI startups are meeting their requirement based on their product. So first of all, education industry. So it has three major requirements. One is personalized learning, because in the education point of view, for example, in your class alone, you have 40 to 50 students in it, right? So, but a teacher couldn't give a personal attention to each and everyone. But at the same time, due to this particular problem, may some student doesn't get personal attention and they couldn't do the best one. So for replacing that, if you use a robot for education purpose, it can give you a personal assistant for each and every one. It can work for 24/7, and it can work. It can give you the answers for your doubt more than 1,000 times also in the same way. So in that level, the personalized learning is much more demandable area for robotics and AI, as well as teachers aid for doing lot of clerical work or assisting the teachers, like correcting papers and everything. So the robots and AI can give some strong input in it, as well as connecting the right people. For example, if you are working in some particular research area, maybe haptics, so you are working in a technological haptics, but your location is maybe T-Nagar, for example. So you are working in haptics technology. Can you know who are the other people in T-Nagar working in the same technological haptics? Otherwise, who are the other people in Chennai who are working in the same technological haptics? So we doesn't have any platform to understand this, right? So if we have that kind of platform, then we can easily associate with, and we can get a lot of mentorship and networking in our same research area. That kind of thing we can that kind of problems we are facing right now, we can give this kind of solution through robotics and AI for that. So one of the company called Cogni from US, they are giving a AI-based virtual assistants to meet the education industry requirement of personalized learning. So this is one of the finest product, and it is giving a very good business in the US market, but it is not in the global level. But US market, it is giving a very good start. As well as in the retail and hotel industry, floor staffs in stores as well as billing assistants in supermarkets and reception and restaurant staffs. These are the areas we can replace robotics in terms of humans. And one company from Germany, Tyson Group, they are building a robots for to meet the requirements of hotel industry. So for a room boy, instead of a room boy, they are using this particular robot. And the reception level, they will set the room number and floor, and this particular robot can go and serve and do everything, and it will interact with the particular clients, and it can r- get the information from them to give a feedback to the reception. Likewise, it has a very good feature. So this is one of the finest product for the hotel requirements. As well as this is a Paul Robotics from Spain. They have a multi variants of robots which can give a solution for hotel and retail industries. You can see the range of robots they have. And for a manufacturing industry, these are the four areas we can give a solution. Production automation. Production automation. So in terms of production, if they are using humans or some manual stuffs, it will two things will happen. It will reduce the fastness of the process, as well as it can give some high level of manual errors. So if you're using robotics and AI, these two can be eliminated. Another that automated guide vehicles, it should be used for the industries to shift the materials to one and another. It will be easy. And raw material management, testing automations. These are the four major requirements in the manufacturing side. And this is one of the company Reaping Robotics from Germany. They are completely given an innovated product in the manufacturing side, because mostly the industrial robots are very good for manufacturing plant, but the drawback of those are it doesn't have that much smart compared to embedded. But embedded robots cannot be given to the manufacturing side because it's not rugged, as well as it's not that much good for a manufacturing side. But this particular robot meet the both. So it act with the smartness of embedded, and it can act with the ruggedness of the industrial robot. That is why it's standing in a unique way in this market. So this is one of the very good product and impressive product in the industrial robot line. It's called Rethink Robotics from Germany. And in terms of supply chain, you can use for source tracking as well as connecting buyers and sellers and smart logistics. These are the major requirements in terms of supply chain industry. And one of the best example is Swiggy and Zomato for artificial intelligence in the food industry, so in the supply chain industry. Okay, in that you can find out if you are a regular user of Swiggy or Zomato, you can understand what I'm saying right now. So if you plan to order some food in the Zomato, you'll have something in your mind, and you open up the app and you try to order it. But this particular app keep on give you offers and keep on give you pop-ups and notification in tabs. This much product is have this much offer, or this is if you order this first time you will get this kind of discounts. This is a free product. Likewise, they will keep on giving notifications and updates to you. Based on that, you may order something you does not require or you does not keep in mind before opening an app. So it will happen lot of times, because simply they are influencing you which product you have to order. This is completely based on the artificial intelligence side. And officially one company's management person told that, so we will decide India's dinner in coming 5 to 10 years. So in that much level, they are very confident about their technology. So right now they are doing also. And in terms of automotive side, self-driving car is one of the highest demandable requirements in the automotive side in terms of robotics and AI, as well as market making smart in terms of everything. Every automotive smart is a very important one in terms of a marketing platform. So this is one of the highest level of requirement, as well as designing and simulation. In terms of building a car as well as testing in a simulation side, if you use robotics and AI, it's one of the very good advantage for them. So for a self-driving car, already Tesla is building a wonderful product, and it is currently it's on the road of US. So you can see that this is a a simple snapshot of that, and I can attach this particular video how this particular car is driving autonomously. This is how you can fix the designation. So based on that, it will automatically drive you to that particular designation with the help of a Google map, and it is working with the algorithm of neural network, so as well as machine learning, right? This is how it will work and go to the designation you find out. As well as warehouse management. So robot staffs are highly involved in this warehouse management. For example, Amazon, those kind of Amazon, Flipkart, those kind of high level uh, companies has huge manpower in terms of warehouse management and ordering, because in that they couldn't use manpower. Instead of that, they are using robots. So Grey Orange is one of the company. It's a proudly saying it's an Indian company, and it's a student startup 8 years before. So right now they are one of the strong company to give a solution in terms of warehouse management through robots, and as well as surveillance you can use for drone technology and spying robots, and swarm technology also one of the very good important requirement in important in the surveillance area. As this is one of the company Festo in Germany, they are creating some robots which can mimic completely relevant to the biological structures. So you can see this this particular robot is a robot fish, but it's completely relevant. You cannot think this is a robotic fish, so it will be completely unique as well as realistic. It is not a simulation or animation; it's a real product of Festo. They use these kind of robots to spy in future, so they can they can put these kind of robots in our country sea or something, so they can surveillance and monitoring the resources what we have under our sea by these kind of robots. It can possible, it has these kind of possibilities. Okay, so in that way, agriculture, it has a huge demand for drone technology as well as smart agriculture. So abundant robotics from US as one of the solution providers in agriculture side. In agriculture side, harvesting and field management is one of the strong area. The robotics and AI solution can be good. In terms of food technology, so kitchen and robotics, kitchen with robot and AI is one of the huge impact right now. So I'll show you one of the product from you can see the robot chef. It will be the one of the smartest kitchen product I ever seen. As well as clean meat, it's somewhat a very interesting one. I'll tell you in the last. So food processing side also we can use robotics and AI. So this is called Modi Robotics from UK. This is a robot chef. It's completely observing the top chefs, and through the machine learning and artificial intelligence, it's completely get the information from the chef's movement, and then it can prepare the food same as the chef. That is the concept of this Moli robotics. You can see the video. You can completely understand how it is making a food. It is commercially available right now. How it's doing now. So likewise, the chefs will wear these gloves and they can do the movements and they prepare the food. Through these gloves, this particular system will completely understand how this chef is giving a movement and in what posture they are mixing everything, and everything the system can understand. And based on that technology, they completely give those movements to the robots. Okay. So you can go and check in internet. You will get a lot of information if you're interested about this one. Molly Robotics about UK, and this is called clean meat technology. So it's a Memphis meats from USA. How they are doing it now? In future, we no need to kill a chicken to eat chicken, right? So how they are doing that? They are taking stem cell from the chicken and they are growing those stem cells in laboratory by giving nutrition in an artificial way. And in few months, that particular stem cell will grow, become a meat, right? Single piece of meat. We can use those single piece of meat for our cooking. In that way, they are building a real chicken and duck as well as beef meats in laboratories right now. These are the one of the very shocking technology I ever seen. As well as in terms of healthcare, I'll give you some glance in a very fast way. What are the robotics today? For example, in a traditional way, surgical tools as well as physical therapy tools as well as patient interactions as well as pharmacy and logistic tools we are using in a traditional way of healthcare. Because Sir told me that, Pragati sir told me that you have a biomedical department in your college, so that is why I added this one also because it may useful for you. So as well as in an innovative way, simulators as well as bionic prosthetic. These are the two innovative products in the healthcare. First of all, we'll see the traditional one. In the surgical side, Da Vinci robotic system as well as CyberKnife robotic system and DLR microsurge robotic system. These are three robotic systems we used in surgical side. This is one of the Da Vinci robotic systems image. So here, this particular doctor is seeing everything from the screen as well as through the actuators in in his hand. He give the movement to the robot, but it will be very precise manner. So and very sensitive also. It is one of the high level of precise robotic system to do surgery, as well as CyberKnife robotic system. This is mainly used for cancer treatments, and instead of a laser treatment, if the patient can put this particular robot CyberKnife robotic system treatment, uh, he can give a complete uh, relief from the laser treatments issues and those health issue problems with the laser treatment. And taking a 45 days of treatment, they can take only 5 days of treatment through the cybernetic robotics. That much wonderful boon for the cancer patients, this particular one. And physical therapy, it has a two classification: upper extremity system, lower extremity. Above the leg level, so the hands and everything is the upper extremity system, and below level like legs and everything will come under the lower extremity. So the physical therapy area, so this particular products are giving some giving some energy and impact to the patients to do some physiotherapy works. And Hokama is one of the company, and this is one of the leading company giving solutions in this area. As well as this is a robot for patients interaction. So UCLA health companies, they are. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm here.
You can
I'm
proceed.
audible, right?
Yeah, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, okay. UCLA health company, so they are giving a patient interaction robots. So like the robot is coming to the patient's area. The doctor may not be in the hospital; they can be in their other areas or some other locations. Through internet, this robot and the doctor tab will be connected. So they are interacting to the clients, to the patients, how they do it in a real time. So as well, the instruments which is in the hospital, like ECG and those kind of instruments, will be connected through this robot to the doctors wherever they are. So that kind of technology, it is one of the mostly in US and other technological developed companies have these kind of robots in the hospitals. And this is for just a logistic side to bring some products into one floor to another floor information. And in terms of simulators, procedure planning as well as education. These are the two areas the simulators are working. Procedure planning in the sense, the healthcare side. So before doing a live operations, doctors can plan how the operation should be happened in terms of this kind of simulators. So it can improve the success rate of the operation before getting into live if you do 2 to 3 times of procedure planning. And in terms of education side, you can see one of the product from Microsoft. They build a lens for VR lens for education point of view. Like this is a product. You can see how this particular virtual reality along with artificial intelligence combination, they build this product, and how much this is helpful for the student to understand the one of the toughest subject of anatomy in the medical side. So likewise, it will give a real feeling through the virtual reality, as well as it's completely interconnect with your information along with artificial intelligence, give you the best one in front of you to know something. So this is how it will give a different treat for the students to learn anatomy. So likewise you can learn some automotive and automobile subjects also through these kind of simulated technologies along with VR and AI. As well as this is one of the product which is developed by one of the universities in New York, and they are doing soft nano robots. Soft robot is robots which built by a soft materials, as well as nano robot is very tiny one. So this particular one robot is built for inside your body and see and monitor how the organs are working fine or not in terms of medical side. So you can see how tiny it is and how soft it is. So it can move autonomously and it will give a report of the organs to the doctors. Likewise, you can see they have built a model of a stomach. Inside that, this kind of tiny robots will be inside it. So these are the research they are doing right now. In future, this kind of it's called as a robot tablets. So in future, surely we will get these products in terms of a commercial growth. As well as I want to share you a very interesting two research areas going right now, and one is, do you believe a deathless life is possible? So in terms of science, I'm not talking about philosophy level. So it is possible because the bionic prosthetics are coming into the part right now. So they in world level they are it is in a huge demand and huge uh, impressive projects are going on. So one is that what is bionics? This particular biological products are replacing by the robotic parts. That is called bionics actually. So right now that the bionic arm as well as bionic eye are available, and legs are also available somewhat. How they are doing it now in your body, brain is the one which resemble you and your memory. So brain has some long life in terms of other organs. So keeping the brain alive and replacing your biological organs in terms of robotic parts, you can they can make you live long. For example, unless until your brain dies, you can live. For example, your heart is not good and it's not working in a proper manner, they can replace a bionic heart in terms of your heart. So likewise, they can replace everything. That kind of research is going on right now. Arm as well as eye is available. So instead of a brain, they can replace everything in your body and make you live long. And it can be go up to the level of deathless life. That kind of research is going on right now. This is one of the company who work in bionic hands, and my specialized area also this one. For your information, this particular ROM is completely built by 3D printer. So Pragati sir told that you have a 3D printers in your college. So just imagine, are you using those kind of technologies which college given to you at the extent? This is how they will design in the mechanical design software and build in 3D printers. Okay. And another one interesting technology is called telepathy. You know telepathy, right? Communication between brain to brain. This is also happening right now through the current technological master, Elon Musk. he has a company called Neuralink. In that company, they are doing research in terms of connecting a brain with a quantum computing chip and communicating with brain to brain. So this is how it's going on, right? So like, so in terms of need, we can get a database of sensors. What are the sensors we need? You have to update the sensor areas, as well as in terms of brain, microcontroller and microprocessor is very important one. In microcontroller side, Arduino is one of the brain, as well as microprocessor side, bio Beaglebone and Raspberry Pi is one of the higher level of brains we can use. Raspberry Pi and Arduino are commonly used. Beaglebone is one of the advanced processor we can use that, as well as actuators level. We can use some motors and servo motors, and especially this particular robo servos are very important in terms of robotic building side, because these robot servos has an internal brains, but mostly we doesn't have much awareness about this, but you can explore this and you can get some idea. The name is called dynamic cell. This robot is the major product. This particular motor is a major product while building a biological and as well as structural based robots. It's called bio dynamic cell robots. Actually, we can call it as a robo servo, and it's a robotics product. And as well as for learning side, you can use Python or Java or Scala. So Python is one of the strong platform to learn for robotics, as well as in terms of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Artificial intelligence is a product of machine learning as well as deep learning. The combination of output is called AI. So machine learning is a subject which can make the machine can learn, and deep learning is make the machine to think in a smarter way and make a decision in a smarter way and precise way. That is the difference between deep learning as well as machine learning. AI is the output of both. As well as if skill requirement is that if you want to build a robot, so electronics knowledge you should have a 30% and computer science 30%, but mechanical knowledge you have 40%, because as I told you, robot has a strong structural movement requirement it has, so you have a strong knowledge of mechanical side. In terms of AI, you have electronics and as well as computer science area. So, in terms of getting funds, you have a four major options you can get funds. One is DST, Department of Science and Technology, for institutions and for professors research as well as student research. DST is offering lot of programs and stipend areas you can utilize of it, and Entrepreneurship Development Institute of Tamil Nadu offering lot of programs, especially IBP programs. They are giving a funding level for, if you are giving a strong idea, they will give you a 2 lakhs to 7 lakh rupees funding to build your idea to prototype. If you have any doubts, you can contact Radvi sir. He is one of the expert in IVP programs and all. So he will guide you, as well as you can apply some projects in DRDO site to get some funding for your research areas. Along with that, TBA's Technological Business Incubation is certified from central government. 7 TBAs are in Tamil Nadu. In TBAs, they have a lot of programs like residential entrepreneurship programs, as well as Niti Prayas. Likewise, they have a lot of funding options they have, and they need some strong candidates to give support. Surely, if you approach them through Pragati sir, surely they will support you. As well as consulting work, you can take some consulting work from the external side, from the industry or some other areas. You can take some input in that. As well as for key action plan, build your strong team. As I told you, don't try to build everything from your own. Build a strong team, because robotics and AI, it's not a simple subject. It's a electronics knowledge we need, computer science knowledge we need, and mechanical knowledge we need. So don't try to build everything from your own. Build your team based on your skill set, and based on the your plus and minus. Build a team and form a good team and work together and build a product. So try to get some connection with industries to give some real-time solution. Then only you will get a real practical experience other than your academic studies. As well as dedicate your time in research labs. Don't study and do everything, but you cannot do everything just by your academic studies. You have to spend some time in research lab and laboratories instead of spending time in some other games or something. So dedicate your time, you can get some good exposure. As I told you that our company called Orange Gray, the student startups right now, it's one of the leading company in India, give a solution provider for warehouse management. They are a student startup. They started from the first year of their engineering college, the 4 members team. They completely spend the time in their laboratory. I personally know them, the CEO. He told that how much time he spent in their research labs to build their product from the year of second and third year in their studies. Right now we are one of the strong company in world level. Okay, so finally collaborate between departments, that is very important for the institution side, for the department professors I'm telling you. So don't try to build everything in between your department, so collaborate with your department simultaneously, so that will give you a strong output in terms of a teamwork. So that's about my inputs. If you have any questions you can ask. Hello.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you for your informative session, sir.
thank you.
And we don't have any questions in the chat box also, sir.
Okay, fine.
And
So,
thank you so much, sir, for sharing so much of information with us.
okay. So, shall we wind up then?
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
And I thank our principal, Dr. A. Ramesh, sir, and Mr. Pragadish, sir, for being a part of this session. And I thank all the participants for being patient and listening to the session. And thank you so much. Let's meet in the upcoming sessions.